guys, I'm gonna go and take you with me. I'm gonna get my conch pierced in my ear. Right now I just have my cat earrings. It's a beautiful day here in Columbia, Missouri, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. Okay, it wasn't bad at all. I absolutely love it. My piercer's name is Mikey at Living Canvas in Columbia, Missouri, and that is the final product. So I had a conch and a rook. So the conch is the bar and the rook is the piercing, and he did it so when you look straight on you can see the little diamonds sparkle, and then I have the edgy look with the bar, but I can replace both once it's healed. I'm supposed to apply this it's a piercing aftercare, and it's saline, and I'm supposed to put it in a little tiny kind of container like this and change it out each time I wash it, because then the bacteria get it. But you put a little bit out and then a Q-tip, and then he showed me how to apply it. And
make you bleed or anything. But you're gonna put it right on top of it. You just hold it like full, like just like that, right on top of that piercing. Okay, 2 full minutes.
Apply it, soak it for 2 minutes, and then you wipe left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right to keep it clean till it's completely healed. I love it so much because it's not too obvious, but whenever you look, it's like you see this little tiny sparkle right here. Oh, so relieved it's over. I was so nervous. So there it is. I'm so in love. First of all, by the way, this looks like our cat Gia, and this is one of my favorite earrings, and they're both different because I lost the mate each. And I remember when I was little, when this happened to Grandma, she'd say, "Oh, my dad's mom," who she called, what did she call? She said, "Oh, her ghost is messing with me again." So a ghost is messing with me and making me lose an earring for each pair. So I just wore these two since they're both my favorite, and I lost the pair to each. I'm glad I did this. I'm so glad. I've been thinking about this for at least, I don't know, a lot of years, and I finally did it. So find Mikey. He's on Instagram at I Poke Holes Daily, and my picture's on his Instagram now. He's so cool, and he's really nice. He marks them out before you do it, so he'll sit there and kind of, at first I wanted one here and here, one here and here, and it would be a piercing of cartilage with this flat back. But he looked and he said your ear doesn't have enough space. He could jam it if I wanted. And so I just said, well, what do you recommend? So he recommended the conch and the rook. So I'm super, if you have any questions or you've done this, I've heard they're addictive. I think that's all I'm gonna do. During the piercing, what they do is they're really careful with you. And he had me, well, first he really discussed what I was wanting. He didn't rush or anything. He was super experienced. Then they actually put the marks where it's going to be, so you're not surprised where your piercings are going to be. Then he actually practiced how to breathe with me, which was really cool because we're integrative medicine doctors and we believe in breathing as a form of meditation and relaxation. So I thought, wow, this is amazing that they're doing this at tattoo parlors and piercing parlors, and he said they're actually trained in that, every single one of them there. So what he did was he had me breathe with him maybe like 3 times to know that I really knew how to deep breathe in through my nose and then out through my mouth. And he was going to have me sit. He said he could have me lay down. I chose to lay down because I tend to faint when I get excited. And so I laid down, kept my knees up. So if you ever think you're going to faint, always put your knees up, because that makes your blood go to your head more. So then I went, laid down, and then he had my head all the way to the side, since it was my left ear, like all the way. And what it felt like for the first one, which was the conch, which was the bar, is that I felt like he said, okay, take some deep breaths. And I could tell he was super experienced because his hands were just experienced. And then he said, take some deep breaths, and I want to hear you breathe out through the mouth. And remember with the deep breaths that you want your out breath to be twice as long as your in breath. And so I take a deep breath in through the nose and then out the mouth. I did that about 3 or 4 times, and then I felt something sharp, but then he said he'll make the piercing as I exhale. So I just took a deep breath, and the sharp got intense. It felt more like pressure. And then once that's through, then they put the jewelry through. And that, just take another deep breath in and then out. And then it was just another deep breath in and out, and the jewelry went through. Then the backing was put on. And so at that point, I felt like my ear was throbbing a little bit, but not bad. And I'm a wimp, so it wasn't bad at all. Then the second one, which is the Rook, which is that little one, that little diamond one, that one was the same. He said, okay, and he'd ask you whenever you're ready. And so I took a deep breath in, and then I let it out the mouth, and then deep breath in, let it out. I think it was on the 3rd or 4th one, you feel something sharp, but it's just like maybe someone just like rubbing something sharp against your skin, like he's positioning it. And then on the exhale, that's whenever he pierces it. And it wasn't bad. It really just feels like pressure. I told him it hurt a lot less than these regular ones, because I got these about 30 years ago, or maybe 25 years ago, and they didn't even talk about deep breathing then. I did take 2 extra strength Tylenol ahead of time because I'm wimpy. I took it about an hour to hour and a half before I had it done, which I think helps a lot. Once they put the Rook in, he said, we're done with that one, and then you just put the jewelry through like the first time, and then the backing went on. And then he let me see, but he said, do you want to see the first one? I go, no, I trust you. And I absolutely love it because it looks like the conch is pointing down toward my Rook, which is the crystal. It's like a star and a moon. I'm so excited. He said he's been trying to sell this moon combination at his store for like 7 months now, and no one buys it. So I might go back to get it, but you have to wait, take care of your stuff and your ears, make sure it's all healed. Then you can change the jewelry on it. So I'm so happy that I got him to do it. So it's really important to trust who you get. I always pray beforehand, and God just kind of leads the right person to me. Same thing happened with my tattoos. While I was up in Columbia after the piercing, I went by the store that I get a lot of my crystals at, called Heart, Body, Soul, in Columbia, Missouri. And because of COVID precautions, what you have to do is you just have to tell them what you'd like in the store, and then they'll leave it out on the porch for you in a bag, and you just prepay, or you can pay when you get there. I needed to refresh my supply of smoky quartz and opalite, because if the Lord tells me, give that stone to somebody, I tend to, because they need it. And I got another moonstone bracelet. What they do is every time they give you a stone or a bracelet, they do include the properties of the stone with it. So I think it'll be a good time for me just to put my crystal collection together and then do a video about my different crystals. So I appreciate you, Corey K and Christy, for being interested and wanting me to do one if I could. I'll do my best. I'm not like a crystal expert. It's just my own personal experience on these different crystals. The owner of Mind, Body, and Soul even gave me like some lavender incense, so it smells like their store. And this was for free. It was so nice. I said, it smells so good, so I'm going to keep it in my car so that my car smells like lavender incense. I love it. And then she also gave me a little CD. It's so cool. For Peaceful Journeys. She wrote a little thank you. Well, it's been about an hour since maybe hour, 15 minutes, and my ear is sore, just in the areas where I got it pierced, and the flat back of the Rook sticks out the back of my ears, so I have to be careful when I wear masks because it'll yank on it. But whenever you touch it, it is sore whenever you move it around. Other than that, it just kind of feels like you laid on your ear all night long and it's just sore that way. I didn't want to do the dermal piercings with no back because I wanted to be able to like change out the jewelry or take it out myself if I needed to. So these both have an ability to screw the back out and then slip the jewelry out. And they were really nice. I said, of course, if I'm needing to go to the emergency room for anything, or if I need to have an MRI or a CAT scan, I asked, do I need to just have them yank them out if it's an emergency? And he said that at their place, all of these, they're mindful of that. So all of their piercing jewelry is titanium based, so they're not magnetic. So that's really good to know if I'm going through airport security or if I'm having an MRI scan at the hospital. It won't impact the MRI or fly out of my ear and yank my ear out or come undone. So I thought that was really good to know, this titanium based jewelry. So overall, my ear really doesn't hurt that bad. It's kind of annoying, kind of throbbing pain, but not bad at all. And I haven't taken any more pain medications since I got it done. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes. I watched some Instagram videos, and the Rook is actually this big bar one. They just put it through that cartilage, and then this is the Conch, that there's a back at the end of that little diamond that I'm wiggling around. It's now been about 2 hours since the piercing, and this one, the Rook, seriously does not hurt at all. It's the Conch that hurts. So it's just a throbbing, though. It's not like severe pain at all. So I'm going to move the Conch around. There's a little bar at the back, and moving this bar at the back really hurts. I don't know if you can see that bar at the back of my ear. So that's the back of the Conch piercing. That's the only thing that's really throbbing right now. And I can apply ice 2 or 3 times a day if I want to, can clean it, but it looks so clean. He did such a great job. Well, it's been 3 hours since I got the piercing done, and it really seriously doesn't hurt anymore. And I'm impressed because I didn't take any other pain medications since the 2 extra strength Tylenol, which was about an hour and a half before I had it done. So it's been a total of probably 6 hours since the 2 extra strength Tylenol. No pain at all. Love you, Kona. That'll be it for today, and I'll see you again in my next video.